Welcome back now. The United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, in partnership that is with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, is set to launch a project titled Promoting Entrepreneurship Projects Contributing to Social Economic Development through Ecotourism and Interpretation of World Heritage in Namibia. Now, the launch is set to take place on the 17th of November 2025 at the P.A. Smith Primary School Hall in Maltahöhe in the Hardap Region. Now, this project aims to create meaningful economic opportunities, particularly for women and youth, by linking entrepreneurship with ecotourism and the interpretation of Namibia's World Heritage. Now, to tell us more about this initiative and what it means for local communities and Namibia's broader development agenda, we are joined by Helvi Elago, the United Nations Program Officer at UNESCO Namibia. Good morning, ma'am, and thank you so much for making time to speak to us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me.
Now, perhaps to begin with, in terms of conversation, can you give us an overview of what this new UNESCO project is all about and what inspired its development?
Well, this project was developed just to support African countries to leverage on the heritage sites, especially the World Heritage Site, economically. And it's looking at local communities that are living along the World Heritage Site to set up businesses and also just to make sure that they're benefiting from their heritage.
And making sure they're benefiting. Looking at perhaps that Hardap in our introduction, talked about the launch is set to take place at the specific primary school in the Hardap region and specifically in Maltahöhe. Is there a reason as to why Maltahöhe in the Hardap region was chosen to launch this program and its implementation?
Well, it's just, the area was chosen because it's in a close proximity to the World Heritage Site, that's the Namibia Sea. Logistically, it just made sense to have it there. It's known as the gateway to the World Heritage Site, which is when you pass through Maltahöhe and then you go to Sesrim and to be able to visit Sossusvlei and all that. So basically it was chosen for its strategic location.
Talking about this initiative, how does this tie into UNESCO's broader vision for sustainable development and cultural preservation in Namibia, and especially looking at Namibia, and for Namibians who are watching, what is a World Heritage Site and how many do we have in Namibia?
So we have two World Heritage Sites in Namibia. We have the Tweefontein, which was the first one to be inscribed on the World Heritage listing, and then we have the Namibia Sea. And look and how this tie into the UNESCO priority. We have a priority for specifically for Africa, which aims to support Namibia as a member state to UNESCO to inscribe more sites to the list, because as you know, we only have 2, but we have 8 on the tentative list, and so then this is really just it's a way to just encourage countries to be able to inscribe more World Heritage, to attract more tourism, and just to make sure that community members are benefiting from their heritage economically. Indeed. And it also supports the Namibia development plan, which is also turning the Namib Sea as a driver of skills development and entrepreneurship, and also just improved livelihood. And we also meant to strengthen national and community capacity to conserve and manage their heritage in a way that is inclusive, locally led, and economically sustainable.
Indeed. Now, one of the key aims is to promote entrepreneurship amongst women and youth. How will this project practically support and empower these groups, especially in the context of trying to benefit from these, sites, heritage sites that they have, as opposed to just seeing the international market or international tourists, for instance, benefiting from this?
So yes, we are targeting women and youth specifically because, as you know, a lot of time when you come in a community, women lead when it comes to household, upkeep of household. And of course, we targeted youth because youth unemployment is high in Namibia. And it will benefiting them through tailor-made training. Just in May, we conducted a need assessment. We had a consultant who went to the community just to find out what are the needs for this community, what is there, how can we support this community, and the training needs that has been identified, and that's how we are going to support this community to make sure that we are responding to their needs. And this project also has a small seed funding that is just meant to offer a small grant to help entrepreneurs to either expand on what they already have or maybe to just jumpstart some of these initiatives in the community.
Now, the economic opportunities that we talked about that are available for the community, obviously, are these emerging from ecotourism and heritage-related enterprises?
Yes, very much. Local community members, especially youth, can become certified eco guides and offering specialized tours around along the area. And also we are looking at cultural entrepreneurship center, maybe that creating small community museums or, interpretation center that can charge a small fees because, as I said, these areas are gateway to a World Heritage Site. So how can they at least just keep the tourists for a short period of time in that area to experience also their culture at the same time, whether to have food, to have a taste of the cuisine of the community, see what the community is all about. Yeah.
Now we know that Namibia is quite rich in World Heritage Sites. We talked about the fact we have 2 officially that are recognized and having 8 that are on the tentative list.
Yeah.
How does then the UNESCO envision using these cultural and natural assets as tools for sustainable economic development, especially the one that must be able to benefit Namibians first before even the tourists that come from outside Namibia? Yeah.
So, from the UNESCO's perspective, we see World Heritage Site as places where they are catalysts for local development. Yeah, where conservation goes hands-on, like hand in hand with creating jobs and small businesses, especially ecotourism, as we just spoke about, and also just craft creation and the whole creative industry that is linked to this World Heritage Site. And also empowering community living near around the site, I think is very important just for them to understand what does it mean for an area to a heritage site to be declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And then that will also help the community to safeguard their traditional skills and also at the same time, they're generating incomes, and which will definitely push for long-term resilience of the community.
Let's talk about the balance for the need for increased tourism with protection and preservation of this heritage site. It's one thing to want to get tourists to come to be able to see it, one thing to ensure that communities are capacitated, they benefit economically, but it's one thing to ensure that it's sustained, because without being sustained, all these attempts that we are trying to make about economic benefits will be meaningless in the end.
Yeah, you're right with that. So the project is fundamentally built on the concept of sustainable heritage ecosystem, where the protection and development is mutual, right? And then we are promoting ecotourism models that focus on small groups, respect for the environment. A lot of time when you go to World Heritage Site, they have certain rules in place, like only 8 people can go, or it's only 2 people can, people goes in, then that's, one way of preserving it. And the site has a management plan, and usually this management plan has section that that talks about the carrying capacity and what are the measures and they have the measures in place just to make sure that the site is protected, from damage or any, for visitors.
Now we know that now Namibia is one of the 6 countries that are benefiting from this global initiative, creating a sustainable heritage ecosystem for social economic development. in Africa. Let's talk about how does Namibia fit into the larger continental picture, and how was Namibia chosen?
Yeah, so Namibia faces the same challenges that other countries are facing when it comes to the preservation of our heritage, whether it's climate pressure, youth unemployment is also one of the, and also just the need for economic inclusive when we talk about culture and creative, right? And Namibia was chosen, of course, from Southern Africa, and because Namibia also showed the strong commitment to community empowerment, looking at ecotourism. We have quite a lot of places that are practicing ecotourism, and we are known for that. And it contributes directly to the broader continental goal of ongoing heritage as a driver for sustainable development, and as envisioned for UNESCO Priority Africa and also the Africa Agenda 2063. So by participating in this initiative, Namibia is helping to shape continental blueprint for African heritage, and that can generate livelihood, strengthen local ownership, and reinforce Africa representation and leadership with the World Heritage System.
Now, as we conclude, what would you say, perhaps, especially for Namibians that might be watching, that it is why is it important for us to ensure that we are online when it comes about protecting heritage, but while also fostering economic growth? And can the two sustainably coexist?
Yes, definitely. I think my message to all Namibians is the one of pride and potential. So our natural and cultural heritage is not just a beautiful memory of the past that we keep to look at, but it is a potential for untapped economic asset for your future. And for the communities, especially the ones that are living near, whether it's a national heritage site or a World Heritage site, I think we must use these opportunities when we have this project coming into our community. Let's embrace it and make sure that we use it to the full potential. And because this can also, as we said, it's a pilot project. This can lead to more support coming your way because of the way we are taking on this project and just embracing the benefit of this of these opportunities that is presented to us.
Indeed. Well, Madam Alvi Alago, thank you so much for making time to speak to us this morning.
Thank you.